Hey everyone, I have with me Cherie Calbom. Hopefully I said that right. Better known as the Juice Lady. Cherie is a nutritionist, Whole Foods chef, best-selling author, and graduate of Baxter University with a master's in Whole Foods nutrition. She's written over 35 books, and has spent decades educating people about juicing, whole food nutrition, cleansing, fasting, natural approaches to health. Today, we're talking about juicing, detoxification, inflammation, energy, nutrition, and the deeper connection between what we put into our bodies and how we live our lives. Sherry, welcome to Psynautical. It's great to have you here.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I'm excited to talk about everything you just said.
Yeah. Um, so what originally sparked your interest in nutrition and natural health?
I was sick. I, in my 20s, had chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, and I was too sick to work. So I had to move home and sleep 12 hours a day and wake up tired. And I felt like I had the flu all the time, low grade fever. It was just horrible, and no one could help me. I ached all over. I just I didn't even have the energy to walk around the block. And doctors didn't know what to do. And finally, I thought, I've got to help myself out of this deep, dark hole. Because I'm young, I was in my 20s, my whole life was ahead. I felt like I was dying. So I went to some health food stores and talked to people there and discovered, whoa, my diet's all wrong. I loved junk food, fast food, hated vegetables. I was a sugar addict. I decided I had to make some big changes really fast. So I got my first juicer. I went on a 5 day juice fast, and on day five, my body expelled a tumor about that size, about the size of a golf ball, with blue blood vessels attached that looked like somebody cut them. And something had, I call it God scissors or nature scissors, phytonutrients like fisetin, luteolin, apigenin, that cut off angiogenesis, and that's the growth of blood vessels to tumors. And so, getting rid of that, I thought, wow, tomorrow I'll probably wake up well. I didn't. I was on a journey of healing and cleansing and renewal, and that takes a little while. It isn't just an immediate, excuse me. So I decided to add in a plant-based diet, keep juicing, and in 3 months, I did wake up one morning and feel like I had a new body. And I thought that was the best cure on earth. I went back to Southern California and thought, well, I did that. And I got rid of that. And I can go back to my old way of life. And my friends were all going out for burgers and fries and pizza and shakes and stuff like that. And I thought I could join in. And I discovered I couldn't. My symptoms started coming back, and that scared me. And that's when it dawned on me, gosh, this healthy way of eating has got to be my way of life. So I went back to school and got a Master of Science degree in Whole Foods Nutrition. And I have been teaching people ever since about better way to live and how to stay healthy.
That's awesome. Let's see. So what did you learn at Baxter University that had the biggest impact on how you approach nutrition today?
I think I learned more than anything to think things through and to research and to look at for various conditions. And there's so many conditions. Like my first book, Juicing for Life, was 50 different ailments. And I learned how to bring nutrition in, I mean, research on nutrition into that and look at the different nutrients, the different fruits and vegetables that help those conditions, and the juices that I could make out of them. I learned at Bastyr about whole foods. They really stress that. What is a whole food? One that isn't processed and changed a great deal. And so I learned about whole foods nutrition and the very important aspect that that is in a healthy diet and staying healthy or recovering if you've got an illness, recovering from illness.
Nice, nice. For someone who has never juiced before, what makes fresh juice so powerful?
It's broken down into a highly absorbable form. Many of us today do not have stellar digestion systems. Probably how we were raised, how we grew up, the food we've eaten almost from the beginning. has not been the best for our digestive tracts. All the snack foods and junk food and fast food and molecularly changed food and things spun out of factories, and it's had its impact. So juice is broken down so well that it can get right into your system, into your cells. And it's estimated within about 30 minutes, it's at work in your system at the cellular level. And so we're getting maybe nutrients that we weren't getting a whole lot of before because our digestion wasn't making the best response. We weren't getting a highly absorbable form of food going into our system. A lot of people don't chew their food very well, and a lot of things just pass right through their system. But juice is broken down so well that those nutrients can get right in at the cellular level.
Nice, nice. So the word detox gets thrown around a lot. What does detoxification actually mean, kind of from your perspective?
It means several things. First of all, giving your system a rest. So, whatever kind of program you're doing, hopefully it's going to be eating lighter and eating more foods that facilitate your organs of detoxification to let go of toxins and then to provide antioxidants that bind to those toxins. I have a 30-day detox program that goes through the different organs and systems of elimination, starting with the intestinal tract. That's week one, with the different juices and recipes that really help to detoxify the intestinal tract, getting rid of toxins in the colon, buildup in the colon. Week two is the liver and gallbladder, and that's a great time to also do a parasite cleanse. Parasites are being talked about more today than they have in recent years. And so, whether you choose that or not, definitely the liver and gallbladder need help because the liver is your filter system. It's like the oil filter in your car. And what if you never changed that? And the buildup just kept going on and on and on. We all know what would happen. Our car would eventually just quit, right? It would die on us. And yet we don't think about our liver, which is like that oil filter. It's the filter system of our body. And it collects stuff. Yes, it's designed to detox, but it often is overwhelmed because there's so much junk today in our food system. People are eating so many things that are processed and have chemicals, additives, dyes, and so forth. And then the pesticides as well. So all their buildup that is going into our liver, and time periodically to just clean that out with certain programs, juices, diet. And then for week three is my lung and um, kidney and bladder cleanse. And then week four is lymphatic system and skin and blood. So 4 weeks of my program, 30-day detox, takes you all the way through the different organs and systems of your body with the different juices and salads and soups and so forth that are designed to help those specific organs cleanse.
I see, I see. So changing topics a little bit, what role do you think hydration plays in kind of overall energy and health?
Huge. Hydration is huge. Hydration is more in the news today than it has been too. Different electrolyte replacement drinks, hydration juices. I just completed a 5-day fitness and hydration juice challenge on social media. We're looking at it more and more. It's huge. Most people are dehydrated. And by the time you feel thirsty, it means you're really dehydrated. We don't drink enough water. People just forget, or they don't like water. They don't think about it enough. They're not prepared. They don't have water with them, whatever is going on. Most people are dehydrated. And many times, the slogan goes, you may not be hungry, you might just be thirsty. Have a big glass of water and see if that hunger that you thought you had, like you thought you needed to go eat something, was just a lack of fluids. And then also making sure that we're absorbing that water. So we need minerals for that absorption even of the water. And so I think that's why different electrolyte replacement products are becoming very popular. But just make sure that you're increasing your minerals along with your water so that your cells will take that water into your cell.
Nice, nice. So what's your philosophy or take on fasting?
I'm a proponent of fasting. In fact, I even have a book on fasting, The Juice Lady's Guide to Fasting. It's ancient. People have done this for centuries. It's healing. When you give your body a rest, whatever kind of fast you decide to do, I don't recommend just starting right off on a water fast. Some people get very gung ho and they're ready to just go for it with just plain water. But a lot of toxins do pour out into your system. It's better to start with a juice fast. And I'm talking about vegetable juice rather than big glasses of fruit juice. That is an awful lot of sugar. And for most people, it's too much sugar. It's overwhelming. So it's better to do a vegetable juice fast, maybe use a little bit of fruit to flavor and sweeten your juices and drink juices throughout your day. They're loaded with antioxidants that bind toxins that come pouring out of cells when we're doing a fast. And that is a really good way, really responsible way to go about fasting, at least to start your fast. People can do a short fast, like a 1 day or 2 day. 3 day, you really get some things going and moving and toxins pouring out. But whatever you do, give it a try. Here's why it's so effective. When we eat 2 or 3 meals a day, even one, some people only eat one, but most people eat 2 or 3 meals a day. Your body is really focused on digesting all that food. So that takes a lot of energy. The whole body is involved, or most of the body is involved with that in all of that digestion. And so that's where the focus goes. But when you're doing a fast, and I'm talking even about a juice fast, because juices are broken down so well, your body can focus then on, I call it taking out the trash. It can look at the toxins, the dead cells, the injured cells, the cells that are cancerous, whatever we've got going on that the body should be cleaning up, repairing, getting rid of. It can focus on that. It can take not just the night where we're fasting during the night, that's for most people anyway, but it can have the whole day. So it's like I liken it to a staycation. People talk about that every once in a while, how great that was to stay home and get some things done, like clean out the garage or that drawer that's bugged you for a long time or whatever needs cleaning out, straightening, repairing. It's like that in your body. When you fast from chewing up all that food all day long, your body can really begin to take out that trash and get things cleaned up and repaired.
Amazing. Yeah. So what role does inflammation play in chronic health problems that we're seeing today?
Huge. It has a huge role. Inflammation is at the core of every disease, anything you could name. It's mostly low grade chronic inflammation that people have in the West that lingers, never goes away, and is like a smoldering fire, slow fire burning in your body, is how I liken it. It's so important to deal with that inflammation. There are so many things that cause inflammation. One of them that I've been talking about a lot lately is seed oils. That's my latest book. This is number 36, The Truth About Seed Oils. But they have been shown in scientific studies to contribute to inflammation in the body and so many diseases. We've listed different studies in The Truth About Seed Oils contributing to inflammation to various diseases like cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, metabolic issues, brain issues like Alzheimer's and dementia, and on it goes. And so, how do we get rid of that besides just removing seed oils? Sugar is another one that is a big contributor. And alcohol can be a contributor. Processed foods, just all of the junk that like different snack foods and processed items that are filled with chemicals, additives, and dyes can really contribute to that inflammation. So, an anti-inflammatory diet, what would that look like? A lot of vegetables, first of all, and vegetable juices and like green smoothies would be on the list. Low sugar fruit, especially like berries or green apple. The good oils like coconut, olive oil, avocado oil would be helpful. Bringing up your omega-3 fatty acids by including things that are high in omega-3s like walnuts and flaxseed oil, hemp seeds, hemp seed oil. All of those are really great. Here's another one that we don't think about, but egg yolks are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And then eating clean protein, animals that have been raised responsibly and have been able to be pasture raised, to graze, to get sunshine and fresh air. That is going to be far better for you than factory raised animals. And so, just a clean diet and reducing all of the things that contribute to inflammation and getting that gluten too. So many people eat so much gluten that is processed. It's processed on refined flour and lots of gluten and sugar and seed oils, and people have those kinds of items from toast and bagels for breakfast to like a sandwich or a pizza or pasta for lunch, and same thing for dinner. So, getting an anti inflammatory diet going is going to be really, really helpful.
Nice, nice. So how closely connected do you think or believe our emotional health and physical health really are?
Very close. Goodness. I used to go around with my husband a bit on this topic because he's a psychotherapist and a behavioral medicine consultant and heart math provider. And so his whole thing is what you think, what you feel is really affecting your body chemistry. And if it's negative, it's affecting it in a negative way. And I used to say, oh, well, but it's what you eat. And we would go round and round. And now I'm such a believer. It's both, and he is too. And what you think, your feelings, your toxic emotions, your toxic thoughts can really affect your health. And it might be a more important factor even than what you eat. And I would never have said that a few years ago, but I've observed it myself. We do health and wellness retreats, and I've observed so many people that have attended my husband's classes and got rid of something at the retreat that they've carried for years in their soul. And they got well. And I think there's a direct correlation. When we're worried, when we're fearful, when we're anxious, those negative hormones or chemicals get released into our system, adrenaline and cortisol in particular, and that is so bad for our health. And so it's so important to address our mental, emotional health as well as our food intake and our exercise, our hydration, all of that. It all goes together. It's like a big circle. And where does one stop and the other ends? I don't know. It all fits together.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, do you believe that healing is primarily physical, or is there something deeper happening when you heal?
Deeper, spiritual. I believe that healing, it starts with, I believe, our desire to be healed, to be well. Um, in the New Testament, in the Bible, Jesus asked the man that was laying by a pool, do you want to get well? Do you want to be healed? He couldn't walk, he couldn't get up. I thought, well, isn't that an interesting question? Who wouldn't say yes, but not everyone does. And what we've seen through the years, not everyone wants to be healed, or they don't know that they're hanging on to something, that maybe they're receiving something from being ill. Many, many reasons, but it starts with our soul. Do we want to be healed? And then it starts with our willingness to do our part. Are you willing? Are you willing to give up your favorite foods that may be harming your health? And then there's a spiritual level that maybe is undefinable for many of us, but through prayer and through belief that I will be healed, I will be well, that there is provision for my healing. It's a continuum again. It all fits together.
Nice, nice. What are some of the biggest nutritional factors you think behind kind of healthy energy production?
Vegetables, vegetables and vegetables, vegetable juices, um, getting in a lot of the antioxidants, the phytochemicals that our body is so desperate for. So vitamins, minerals, enzymes, biophotons, and antioxidants and the phytochemicals or phytonutrients, some people call them, are so important for our health. Getting a good ratio, a good balance between omega 6 and omega 3. And it should be not way out of balance. A 4-to-1 ratio of omega 6 to omega 3 would be max. Most people are way out of range. They're like 20-to-1, 30-to-1. And that's because seed oils are cheap. Manufacturers love them. They're high in omega 6s and they use them in almost everything they make, from baked goods and packaged foods and snack foods. And restaurants use them in their fast food deep fryers. Restaurants, just your regular local restaurants going to use them because they're cheap for the foods they're making. And so we're getting a bombardment of omega 6, also known as linoleic acid, way too much. And that is creating a big imbalance in our diet. That also contributes to inflammation, not just the seed oils themselves, but that imbalance. And so getting that back into balance, getting the seed oils down in uh, as much out of our diet as we can, and bringing up omega 3s. Very, very, very important.
Nice, nice. Um, how important do you think, we've touched on this a little bit before, but do you think mindset is when someone is trying to heal or transform their health?
Oh, it's extremely important. There are numerous people who have a very negative mindset about their health, about getting well. Um, we can hear it in the things people say, such as, I'm never going to get well, or I've always had this, or this runs in my family. And so, of course, I got it. All of these negative mindsets can lock us in place, keep us trapped in an unhealthy state. you, uh, who wrote it? It was Barbara Levin, I believe. But anyway, one famous person, and you can look it up, says your body believes every word you say. And I believe that is true. And I have practiced it so many times. What I speak to my body is powerful. And a couple of years ago, I injured my knee pretty badly just before our Greek island cruise, of all things. And I started just speaking to my knee, you're going to get better. And throughout the trip, I did what I had faith for, to believe for my body was 10% better each day, 10% better. And I kept saying that and saying that. And then finally I said, I've had it with this, and by the time I get home, this knee pain is going to be gone. I am going to be healed. I am going to be well. Sure enough, it was a couple of days after I got home, boom, all of a sudden that pain was all gone. But that's just one example. Over and over and over, that has happened in my life where I've taken the mindset of this is, I'm not going to stick with this. I'm getting better. I'm being healed. I'm getting well. I'm doing my part. And sure enough, I mean, I haven't had anything that hasn't corrected.
Nice, nice. Um, so what in health in detoxification, what role do you think kind of the liver and kidneys play in detoxification?
Huge. They're major organs of detoxification, and that, along with the intestinal tract, that's about it. The major organs, and then the other ones that I named are supporting organs. Well, the skin is your largest external organ of elimination, but to support your organs of elimination is extremely important, and it's not something that the medical profession talks about. That if you go to see your doctor and you're not feeling well, he's or she is probably not going to say, let's start with a detoxification program. and then we'll go from there, and then we'll test your blood, of course, and see where you're deficient and so forth. But I honestly believe we could change America if we focused on detoxifying our bodies and doing some short, even very short juice fasts.
Nice, nice, incredible. So how significant do you think sugar is and how when it comes to like chronic inflammation?
Sugar is huge. Sugar has been implicated in inflammation along with seed oils. It's the other big substance that has been implicated. Sugar and seed oils came on the market big time about the same time in the early 50s. And we've seen such a decline in Americans' health since that time. Smoking came on the scene too around the same time. And then more processed foods began to um, flood the market. But sugar is in so many things, most snack foods. And it's my pet peeve today. So many products that I used to buy that didn't have sugar in them now do. You have to check everything. I shop with a magnifying glass. I'm looking for seed oils, I'm looking for sugar, but even natural nut butters, health food store products, even crackers. I bought these crackers the other day and forgot to look at the label and got them home. Neither my husband nor I eat any sugar. And it was organic crackers. And I saw the organic on the label and I had a mindset of, oh, these are going to be healthy. And then look on the label when I get home. It's got sugar in it. It's in so many things. They're just dumping it in everything. I shop at big box stores and I can hardly buy anything that's prepared because sugar is in so much. Well, we're overwhelmed. We're getting way too much sugar. The body was not designed to handle sugar like that. That's not an ancient diet. People didn't have sugar then. They had honey, but it was in smaller amounts. They didn't have it all the time. They didn't have fruit all the time because it was fruit in season. So they didn't have the sweets that we have today. And it's a big contributor, a big factor in inflammation. So I just encourage everybody that's listening, get a little magnifying glass, or you can shop with your phone, take a picture and blow up that little teeny print label that tells you what's in that product, and do your best to avoid sugar and seed oils. But sugar is just such a big factor contributing to dis-ease, inflammation, and so many health problems that people suffer from today.
I see, I see. So our time is kind of running short, but if you could, like one final question, leave the audience with one message about their health, their body, and their ability to change their lives, what would you want them to remember?
I want to say to you, you will never know how good you could feel until you give this a try. It's been kind of a whirlwind journey. We've talked about a lot on the show,
Oh yeah.
but you know what? Pick a couple of things. Like right now, you'd say, I could do this, I can shop more wisely. I can avoid sugar and seed oils. Seed oils will appear as vegetable oils or maybe corn, safflower, sunflower, soy, canola, and so forth, or vegetable oil. Oftentimes they're called. And you can avoid a couple of things. You can try to get more vegetables in your diet, whatever you want to do, but pick two or three things. Hydrate more. That's something we can all do. It's easy. It's drink more water, right? But where could you start? Ask yourself, what could I do like today, right now, to be healthier and to make some improvements in my diet and my lifestyle? You'll never know how good you can feel until you give it a try. But promise me, you will feel better. And I would love to connect with you. Come visit me, juiceladyinfo.com. You can sign up for my free newsletter. You can get my free little booklet, 7 Anti-Inflammatory Juices, and follow me on social media at Juice Lady Cherie, Cherie. Every day I've got posts and new recipes or ideas or tips for you.
Okay. Awesome. That's a nice little wrap up. Uh, okay.